Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I am truly grateful and honored to have been invited here tonight to induct Nina Simone into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Please bear with me. This is a very long speech, but I'm here for the Queen tonight, so I couldn't pass it up. I'm gonna take my time. I might stutter, but I'll come back. Nina Simone could sing anything. She was classically trained, and they called her the high priestess of soul. She sang jazz, blues, spirituals, folk songs, show tunes, children's songs, songs by Bob Dylan, the Bee Gees, and George Harrison. But everything she sang, she made her own. When I heard Ne me quitte pas for the first time, a song she sang in French, I couldn't understand a word she was saying, but I felt everything she was saying. All this deep emotion and pain of her longing for someone, it seemed as though what she was singing about. Her song, Mississippi Goddamn, which was her first, which was her first civil rights song in response to Medgar Evers' death in Mississippi and the 4 little black girls in the Alabama church bombing, gives us chills with its anointing and frustration and anger of the racism that was going on in the world. Nina was bold, strong, feisty, and fearless, and so vulnerable and transparent all at the same time. Her voice was so distinctive and warm and powerful. I never heard anything like it. She knew who she was, and she was confident with what she did and why she did it. But it was often the lack of confidence in herself that people could relate to. Nina sang through all her pain, her joy, her confusion, her happiness, her sickness, her fight. She fought through all the stereotypes. She fought for her identity. She fought for her life. Simone was born Eunice Kathleen Wayman in Tryon, North Carolina, the 6th of 8 children in a poor family. She was a piano prodigy who began playing the piano at 3 years old. She played her first classical recital when she was 10 years old. But during this performance, her parents, who had taken seats in the front row, were forced to move to the back of the hall to make way for white people. Eunice refused to play until her parents were put back in their seats. It was a moment that would haunt her forever. Later, after years of training, her ambition of becoming the world's first prominent black female classical pianist was crushed when her application to the Curtis Institute of Music in Philadelphia was denied. She spent the rest of her life convinced that she was rejected because of racial prejudice. Eunice Wayman took on a new name, Nina Simone. And her very first album, in her very first album, 1958's Little Girl Blue, contained her defining biggest hit ever, her version of I Loves You, Pogie, from Pogie and Bess. Andrew Young, who was the mayor of Atlanta and the US ambassador to the United Nations, who was later congressman, said that during his days as a civil rights organizer, Simone's music was the soundtrack of a movement. Every home I went to had Nina Simone. I mean everyone, he said. For all the people in the civil rights movement, it was an identity. Her songs about injustice, struggle, and black life resonate to this day. They are just as relevant to Ferguson or Baltimore or Mississippi as they were in the civil rights era. And of course, hip hop took notice with artists such as Miss Lauryn Hill, Kanye West, Common, Jay-Z, and myself, amongst others, sampling her extensively. And she has influenced countless singers, including every woman and many of the men that are here on the stage today. I know that Nina and I have a lot in common. Through our pain and our turmoil, we sing and we heal, and we help people heal, and we help people get through. Just like Nina, I can do a record with whoever I want. I can do a record with Elton John or with Bono or with Jay-Z or with Method Man, and no one will ask, why is she doing that? That's because I know exactly what I want and who I am and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's what Nina did. And that is why she is so important and she means so much to me. And so it is with great pride and great pleasure that I now welcome Nina Simone into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.